Yes, Akshay, you can share the screen now. We can see the screen. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the solution walkthrough of the Access Bank LLM Bankathon solution that we are going to submit. The team name is CmdShiftHack. A very quick agenda. We are going to start with team introduction. Then we'll look at a very high-level architecture diagram. And then we are going to talk about the capabilities of this product. Capabilities of the product are nothing but the tasks that we have finished as part of the solution that we are going to submit. And then Akshay is going to walk through a very deep dive of the application architecture. Then we are going to take a look at the tech stack, a UI walkthrough, then the future scope and the extensions of this product, and then we are going to cite few references that we had used. Yeah, a very quick introduction. Akshay.
Yeah, I'm Akshay and I'm a lead developer at Microsoft.
Hi, I'm Sanjana. So I'm a lead engineer at Qualcomm Hyderabad.
Yeah, this is Akhil. I'm a tech lead at ThoughtWorks and I'm from Hyderabad. Cool. Yeah, this is a very high level architecture diagram. This is mostly like you're seeing this architecture from a 30 level floor building. So the front end that we have used that we have developed in React.js, and then Flask application is the backend of the whole solution that we are going to submit. This is developed using the Python and Django combination. We have used SMTP protocols to send out emails to the candidates, and obviously the OpenAI APIs for all the embeddings and then all other LLM related things. We have used MongoDB for storing some job descriptions and then some data that is related to the candidates and all for further processing. Yeah. And then now a quick walk through the capabilities of the product. Over to you, Sanjana.
Thank you, Akhil. So yeah, coming to the capabilities of this product which we have implemented. So we can know our candidates. So from the candidate pool, we can actually know each particular candidate. Like for example, you can give the candidate's email and get more information about the candidate, like his details, the phone number, as well as his resume, etc. So we can shortlist candidates based on a particular job description. So we can give a job description and then shortlist the candidates which match the particular criteria. So we can also evaluate job description. So this is something like you can provide your job description and then evaluate how good it is and get some suggestions which you can decide. You can choose whether to incorporate those suggestions and get an enhanced job description, or you can use those suggestions and manually make some changes to your job description. Next slide, Akshay. Yeah, so you can also generate screening questions. So you can give a particular job description, get the shortlisted candidates as per that, and generate some particular screening questions to be sent to the candidates to be shortlisted for further rounds. So you can email these questions to the candidates and conduct interviews to shortlist the candidates for further rounds. And then once the candidates submit their responses, we can actually record these responses and this will be stored in our database. And we can also evaluate the candidates' performance based on the responses they have submitted. So yeah, now I would hand over to Akshay for the application architecture. You're on mute, Akshay.
Yeah, thanks, Sanjana. Coming to the in-depth architecture of our application, right? So here we'll be discussing about the backend part of our application. So we have given capabilities of uploading PDFs and documents to our application here. So once we upload these PDFs or documents, we use a text splitter, which is there in our Flask application. And we split the text and we create embeddings of those resumes, and we'll be storing those in our ChromaDB, which is a vector store to store all our embeddings. Right? So this is basically storing of our whole resume data in our ChromaDB. And here we have two models for retrieving data. So we'll be using a retrieval LLM model for retrieving from our ChromaDB, and another one is the generative LLM model, which will be using the internet as a lookup, which will look up the internet and generate the responses here. Right? So we have two models here, and this retrieval model which is there, it will be retrieving from our vector store ChromaDB, and we have also provided the capability of using the memory here for generative LLM model. Right? So we have used conversational buffer memory. If we make any queries to this generative model, we can refer to our previous queries also. So we have given that capability of memory for our generative LLM model, and we have a couple of more things in our architecture. Those are the SMTP one, which will be used to send out the mails to the candidates. Right? That is used for SMTP used for sending out the mails. And the other thing is the MongoDB that we have here. So we'll be using MongoDB to store the screening questions that we have generated for each candidate, and also we'll be using this for storing the responses of the candidates, right? For future references. So this is the whole architecture that we have used for our application. And coming to the tech stack, so we have used the OpenAI LLM models. Uh, the one LLM model that we have used is the GPT 3.5 Turbo, right? That's one, and the other one is the text embeddings ADA. So that's used for creating the embeddings. And the LangChain, it's a framework that we have used to connect to our OpenAI models. And the basic programming language that we used in the backend is the Python for our backend application. And we have built our client-side application using React and Material UI. And the database that we have used to store the candidate info is the MongoDB, and the framework that we have used to build all our APIs is the Flask framework. And coming to the UI walkthrough, so I'll be showing the demo how our application will be working, right? So I'll just run on our backend application here, and we will be doing an npm start for our front-end application, the client-side application. So our backend is up now, and let's check. Yeah, our front-end is also up. Now we can go to our application here. You can see that we have some of the tabs to perform our tasks here. Let's first check out the uploading of our CVs. So initially we don't have any embeddings that we have created, right? So we need to have some data to look up to the candidate's resumes and all. So we'll be uploading few resumes here, and then it will create the embeddings. So we have two types of resumes here, the PDF resume. So I'll be uploading a few 50 of these resumes here, 50 or 55. And I have particularly downloaded few of the software developer resume roles here, so that I'll be giving software developer description, job description to evaluate our candidates, right? To screen our candidates. So we'll be doing that. Now all our PDFs have been uploaded. Let's also upload the Word resumes, Word documents that we have. Right?
Maybe you can store the logs in the backend update.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, here we can see that we have created all the embeddings here using a fast strategy here. It's not a high resolution partition strategy, it's a fast strategy. So we have created our embeddings now. And coming to evaluate job description, so I'm picking up a job description from a website. So I'll be feeding this to our evaluate job description functionality. Right? So I've given this here, and I will be giving the title as software development engineer. So I'll try to evaluate now. We can see it has hit our backend here for evaluating the job description. Right? Yeah. As we can see, we have got all the sessions that we can incorporate right into our job description to make it better. So we have got these suggestions. Either we can use these suggestions and make these changes in our job description manually, or we have a functionality to incorporate all these changes directly, right? So we can just go and click on this incorporate. Yeah. Now we have got our job description with all the changes that it has suggested, right? So here is the job description. Let's pick up this job description and let's now screen our candidates against this job description. So as we can see here, we have got two of the candidates who are mostly aligned with this job description. So we can click on these email IDs to get more info about these candidates. So we have added this functionality here, and we can generate questions also for this particular candidate based on their resume and the job description. So here it has generated the screening questions for this particular candidate, and once it generates the screening questions, it will be stored in our MongoDB database. So I'll show you guys that also. I'm just closing here, and once we go here, there are no entries here. Once I refresh this, yeah, as we can see, there is one entry for this email ID, and we have our screening questions and job description stored in our MongoDB database. And we can also email these questions to our candidate. So I'll just send an email out to this candidate. So it shows a alert that email has been sent successfully. So we can go and check our email also. Yeah, we can see here 2 minutes ago. So here are the screening questions that were sent to this particular candidate, Lisan Ravi at email.com, which is there in our database, right? So we have sent these all the screening questions to this candidate, and we have added our HR email ID here in CC, so that we'll be constantly communicating all the uh, process to our HR, right? So these are the two functionalities that we have in our screen candidates. And coming to the search candidates, we can search about any of our candidates here, right? So we can get any details. So it has shown only one candidate here. So it is also giving all the details about this candidate, why he is eligible, right? So here we can search about all the candidates. We can also get emails of our candidates and all. So it's just a search for whole of our resumes, right? And the other functionality we have is the candidates here. So we can store in our responses from our candidate here in our database. What I will do here is I have all the screening questions that was sent to this particular candidate. So I'll use these questions. So I'll take the help of ChatGPT here to generate the responses for all these questions so that I can store these in my database. Right? I think it's not showing me the questions. I'll try again.
Directly.
Yeah. So if a candidate sends in our responses to our email, right? So we can pick these and we can store in our database here by recording the candidate responses. So I have the email of this candidate. Once I do this, so the response is recorded, and once I can refresh and show it here in the database. Yeah, we have a new attribute here, response, where we have all the question and answers for each answers for each of the screening questions that we have sent in. That's the record response we have implemented here. And coming to the evaluate candidate, so we can give in our email ID of the candidate for whom we have to evaluate, right? We can evaluate the candidate here, and it will show whether we can send the candidate to the further rounds or not. So let's check that response. Yeah, it has given the detailed uh, response where it talks about all the answers that candidate has put in, and it will suggest if we can take the candidate to the further round. So based on the provided responses, the candidate appears to have the skills and knowledge required for the role and can be selected for the further round. So from here on, the HR can take over and they can conduct the further round. So this is the complete walkthrough of the application, and we have provided the screenshots here in the slide. And over to Akhil here for the future scope and extensions.
Yeah, thanks, Satya. Just some light on the future scope and extensions that we have that we can integrate or take this solution forward is one is on integration with the HR analytics. For example, when a HR persona wants to have a diverse candidate portfolio that they want to hire, or they want to evaluate on the interview performances, and then this would also help the HR professionals to take more of data driven decisions. So this could be a foundation for all such integrations that can happen, and then this also can be integrated with other HR management systems. So basically, we can extend this compatibility to a very broad range of HR management tools that are available in the market, and we can have a AI driven onboarding. For example, you have hired a candidate, and you can carve out a specified onboarding for this candidate based on the skill set and based on the background that they are coming in. And the other thing we can have is candidates experience enhancements. For example, if a candidate, before submitting their resume to the job, they can evaluate the CV themselves, like first level of check from their side, and then we can give them some suggestions to improve their resumes, and then we can take it and then take it forward. So these are some future scopes that we can think of. But yes, this is just a limited set. We can have much more integrations and extensions going forward. Yeah, Akshay, do you want to talk about the references? You're on mute.
Yeah, coming to references, we have used this LangChain framework to connect to our OpenAI models, right? And we have used the Flask to build our APIs, Flask framework. And this the PyMongo. It's used to connect to our MongoDB from our Flask application. And the Flask mail, it's used to send out the mails to the candidates. And we have used the OpenAI API references, right? And the other two are the front end related one. Those are the React and the React documentation and the material UI document. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I'll stop the recording now, Akshay.